Fox 61, Connecticut's news station, starts with a weather impact alert.
Summer arrives tomorrow. We'll hit 90 degrees for the first time since last summer, and we'll do it with some haze in the air thanks to wildfires burning in Canada. And that's why our team has issued a weather impact alert for tomorrow's forecast. Thanks for joining us for the Fox 61 News at 10. I'm Brent Harden.
And I'm Sarah Sanchez. We welcome the heat, but not the haze, of course. Could make it difficult for people with breathing conditions. Rachel, I actually noticed it was a little hazy out there tonight.
Yes.
So what can you tell us about the air quality tomorrow?
Yeah, so that haze is already here, like you mentioned. It's in the upper levels of the atmosphere, and it made for a really vibrant sunset tonight. You can expect a vibrant sunrise tomorrow, but the air quality here at the surface will start to decline heading into tomorrow morning. So an air quality alert is in effect from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. We're not talking about, reduced air quality like we had a couple of years ago when smoke from Canadian wildfires caused us to smell it here at the ground. Our eyes were burning. But again, people with sensitive groups like respiratory problems or heart issues may want to limit strenuous activity outside. So for example, if you have asthma, it is not a good day to go for a run tomorrow. So hazy, smoky skies tomorrow, a taste of summer out there. It was warmer today. It will be warmer still tomorrow, and especially on Thursday when we get our first crack at the 90-degree mark. Temperatures are in the 60s across the state. Overnight lows will be in the 50s, not as cool as it has been the last few nights, but still refreshing if you want to keep the windows open. And then heading through the day tomorrow, we climb low to mid 80s as we head through the afternoon, and 70s for the Connecticut shoreline with that hazy sunshine. We're going to talk about the heat for Thursday, and when showers and storms return, your full forecast is coming up.
All right, thanks, Rach. Right now, the investigation continues along Route 2 in Marlboro after a serious crash that brought traffic to a standstill.
And still 4 hours later, the DOT says the highway is still shut down. Fox 61's Valerie Moravi has more information from first responders.
Yeah, the Marlboro Volunteer Fire Department was one of several departments called to respond to that crash just less than a mile from where I'm standing. Now, Route 2 was shut down for a good part of the rush hour while first responders investigated what happened. A Lifestar medical helicopter landed on Route 2 Tuesday evening following a serious crash in Marlboro. The incident was reported around 6 p.m. on Route 2 westbound, causing major backups for over a mile. First responders say one person was loaded into the helicopter and airlifted to the hospital for treatment. Marlboro Fire Captain Jason Beving said the state police shut down the highway so troopers could investigate the crash further. That created a lone traffic backup along the detour roads, with cars being forced off the highway to get around the closure. Now the crash remains under investigation by the Connecticut State Police. In Marlboro, Valerie Moravi, Fox 61.
Valerie, thank you. A motorcycle rider in Middlefield had to be carried by helicopter to a hospital after a crash this evening. We're told that rider was badly injured. They crashed on Main Street near where the road crosses into Middletown. Main Street is closed between Ross Road and Forest Street right now. First responders said they would not release the name of the person who crashed tonight. We have calls out to get an update on their condition. All right, it's 10:04 right now, and we're following breaking news from the Capitol.
Governor Ned Lamont just promised to sign legislation that's supposed to save ratepayers money. Senate Bill 4 is a bipartisan measure meant to cut utility costs. The bill promises nearly $400 million in annual savings for customers, and it's supposed to pave the way for long-term reductions to supply, delivery, and transmission fees. Lawmakers passed the bill by overwhelming margins in both chambers with only 4 no votes.
Now, Lamont calls it one step in a broader push to lower energy costs. He'll sign it once it clears final procedural hurdles. Right now, lawmakers are burning the midnight oil ahead of tomorrow's end of the legislative session.
Here we go again. A sketchy text message is making the rounds today. It claims you owe the DMV money. Brett, have you received this one yet?
I got 2 of them this morning,
really?
and one of our staffers got one while we were in the editorial meeting talking about the story. I'm not kidding.
That's how quick they are to jump in on this, right?
This particular scam has gotten so common, law enforcement agencies across Connecticut have issued warnings now. Fox 61's Kate Pattyfoot went to the experts to learn what you should do if you get one of these texts.
It's the newest text message scam making its rounds. So many people have reported getting messages claiming to be from the DMV. Some even got multiple texts in one day. Cyber experts warn it's another attempt to try to steal your hard-earned money. Text message scams seem to be more frequent these days, and scammers are finding new ways to try and take advantage of people. The newest scam involves the Department of Motor Vehicles. People around the country are getting text messages claiming to be from the DMV and demanding money for a supposed parking ticket on your file.
It's essentially saying that, you have unpaid tickets. If you don't correct them, we're going to suspend your license and put a whole bunch of other sanctions in there. It's your normal scare tactic.
For those who've gotten these texts, there's a lot to look at, but there's a lot of red flags too. Cyber experts say these texts are coming from unknown numbers or sometimes even random email addresses. They refer to the DMV as the Department of Vehicles. They even reference laws and codes that don't exist. Some people say the state needs to be more involved with these scams.
The state should crack down on this. There's got to be a way that our information is getting leaked out for them to be able to even message us. And I really hope nobody's falling for this because it's obviously a scam.
Police departments all across the state took to social media to urge people not to fall for the scam.
Well, we always recommend you don't click on any link that you're not familiar with. If you do click on it, exit out of it immediately. If you believe that some of your information has been compromised, your social security number, any other personal information, we recommend you either go get a report from a police department or do something like monitoring your credit.
Connecticut State Police remind people that the DMV would never ask for information or money by text. If you receive this message, just delete it and report it as spam. In Wethersfield, Kate Pattyfoot, Fox 61.
The man is now in custody months after a deadly shooting outside the American Legion in Hartford. Police arrested 37-year-old Arian Serrano of East Hartford. He is charged with murder in the March shooting of 35-year-old Myron Myers. Officers found Myers unresponsive on Main Street. He later died at the hospital. A vigil was held shortly after the shooting, and loved ones described Myers as a dedicated father and a kind, giving man. Serrano's bond is set at $2 million.
New Haven man will spend more than 3 decades behind bars for a shooting in Waterbury, where a stray bullet he fired hit a woman inside her home. 23-year-old Jasper Green was sentenced to 33 years in prison. He pleaded guilty to murder in the 2022 death of Mabel Martinez Antonine Giorgi. She was hit by a bullet while sewing in her home. She was the mother of Olympic rifle shooter Yarimar Mercado. Another suspect in the case was already sentenced to 90 years. Another awaits trial.
Well, new tonight, we have learned a standoff between police and a woman in Newtown ended in a chase and an injured officer. Police say 26-year-old Samantha Rivera barricaded herself inside her Park Lane home. Officers were there to help with a DCF investigation when Rivera locked herself inside around 2 p.m. Police say she ran from the home around 5 p.m. but was arrested. Rivera and an officer were treated for minor injuries they got during the arrest. We're waiting to learn what Rivera has been charged with.
We now know why a small plane crashed into the Long Island Sound Sunday morning. The FAA says the Piper PA-32 aircraft had engine issues when it crashed into the water south of Tweed New Haven Airport. The report says the plane was traveling from Bridgeport Sikorsky Airport. We don't know where it was headed, though. The U.S. Coast Guard rescued 2 people with minor injuries, and the crash is still under investigation.
We first told you we filed paperwork, and now it's official. Matt Corey is running for Lieutenant Governor of Connecticut. Corey is a Republican, a Navy veteran, a small business owner from Manchester. He says he'll be the people's Lieutenant Governor, focused on making Connecticut more affordable and holding state government accountable. He previously ran for U.S. Senate and Congress and calls himself an advocate for working families and small business owners.
Education Secretary Linda McMahon took heat on Capitol Hill, including from Connecticut Senator Chris Murphy. He pressed her on the bid to strip federal funding from Harvard and gut programs that help low-income students. Connor Hansen has more from a tense budget hearing.
Education Secretary Linda McMahon faced off with senators over her department's proposed budget and the administration's ongoing fight with Harvard. The White House has tried to block the Ivy League university from enrolling foreign students, saying it allowed anti-Semitism on campus. It has also told Harvard to end its DEI programs and cut federal funding.
How do you ask them to end diversity programs while instituting viewpoint diversity. Those seems to be totally contradictory.
No, the diversity programs that we've asked and demanded to be eliminated were the DEI, where they were, those programs actually were pitting one group against another.
McMahon argues only 3% of Harvard's faculty is conservative. The secretary was also pressed on proposed cuts to a federal program that helps underprivileged students get into college. She says the department can't tell how effective it is.
From my experience in Maine, I have seen the lives of countless first-generation and low-income students changed by the TRIO program.
You're shrinking educational opportunity in the United States for a whole generation and more.
Secretary McMahon also faced concerns from Republicans over proposed cuts to the Office of Civil Rights, which investigates cases of anti-Semitism. On Monday, Harvard asked a judge to unfreeze $2.5 billion in federal funding. In New York, Connor Hansen, Fox 61.